My brothers and my sisters, my friends, my families, kings and queens throughout the world. I'm sending this video with a broken heart, and I'm sending it not just for me, but for people throughout the world, because I don't really know and understand what's going on. I understand we're living in this pandemic times, but there is more than what meets the eye. Let me tell you what I mean. On Monday, just gone, which was, I believe, the 13th, Easter Monday, I got a phone call from the UK. I got a phone call from my sister saying that my dad is not breathing well. The ambulance was called. They came, they checked his temperature. They said, well, his temperature is fine. They asked what's his age. We said it's 93. They checked his respiratory. They said he has 84% oxygen when it should be at least 95. They took him to Royal Free Hospital. Within an hour and a half of him reaching hospital, we was expecting for them to call us to tell us what ward he's in. They're calling us to say, come and say goodbye. Okay, now, I was just speaking to him on FaceTime. My sister tried to call him to find out what's going on. She kept on calling and calling and calling, and she was on hold for like 45 minutes, 50 minutes, couldn't get through. We decided to call back in the middle of the night. We did. We called back at 12:30 a.m. Eastern time, my time, Florida time, 5:30 a.m. London time, GMT. We spoke to the ward sister. The ward sister told us that she's checking Dad's charts right now. His charts are fine, doing really well. His blood pressure, she said, is, it's 128 over 80, which is like a 40-year-old. Bear in mind, he's 93. His respiratory, his oxygen level was 97%. No temperature. She said all his vitals are fine. My sister said, wow, that's fantastic. So does that mean we can send him home today? He can come home today? She said, I would say yes, but the only thing is I don't understand, because I was calling him and I was saying, Clifford, Clifford, and he opened up his eyes and he looked at me, but he seemed a bit dozy. So I would like, when the doctor does his rounds in the morning, because it's not my decision, the doctor has to make that decision. When the doctor does his round in the mornings, he can establish why is Dad dozy. We said, okay, fine, that's really great news. Went to sleep. Got a call in the morning waking me up, my sister. She said, I just got a call from the doctors again at the hospital, and they're saying, come and say goodbye. What do you mean, come and say goodbye? She said, let me add my brother to the call. So she's called me, merged the call. The doctor's telling us that my sister needs to come and say bye. Why? Well, he's on his last days. We don't think he'll make it past today. Why don't you think he'll make it past today? Well, we think he's on his way out. But I said that doesn't make sense. I spoke with the ward sister this morning, and the ward sister told me all of his vitals was fine. She said, you spoke to the hospital this morning? We said, yeah. She said, okay, hold the line. Let me put you over to the head consultant. She transferred me over and she put me on to the head doctor. The head doctor basically said, well, look, this is what the situation is. Dad's on his last legs, in my words. Somebody needs to come and say goodbye, because we don't think he'll make it past today. I said, well, why do you think that? They said, well, don't you know that, we've been giving him morphine. My sister went ballistic. She started screaming down the phone, why are you giving him morphine? He doesn't have a temperature. His oxygen level is at 97%. I said, does he have COVID-19? They said they don't know, because they basically sent it off and the results haven't come back. Okay, his blood pressure is normal. He's not short of breath. He doesn't have a temperature. Why are you giving him morphine? He's not a cancer patient. He's not agitated. Why are you giving him morphine? They said, well, he's in end-of-life care. This is what we normally do, and research tells... Research? Why are you telling me about research? So I said, look, this does not make sense to me. They said, well, as far as we're concerned, he's 93 years old. I said, so because he's 93, you're giving him morphine? Well, not only that, we've established that his kidneys is not 100%. My sister said, well, we know that his kidneys hasn't been at 100% since 2016. It's about 70%. And with his kidneys not at 100%, his kidneys cannot filter the morphine. So why are you pumping him with morphine? This does not make sense. Not only that, he said, well, his respiratory has started to get slower. My sister said it would do if you're administering morphine. I then said, now this makes sense. Now this makes sense. Because he was dozy this morning And we couldn't understand, not even your warden. He said, what, did you speak to somebody here? Yeah, we did. We got all of his vitals. And I repeated the vitals. His sorry, somebody's trying to call me. Basically, his blood pressure was 128/80, which is like a 40-year-old. Bear in mind, he's 93. So they're telling me, because he's 93 is the reason why they're giving him morphine? So I'm telling you, I said to them, do not, hear what I'm telling you, do not give him no more morphine. You're killing him. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. 2 hours later, my dad was dead. So I'm just making this video, yeah, because I don't really do this social media stuff. Yeah, I like to live my life private. But hear what? I'm telling you, yeah, be careful. Do not send your people to the hospital because they got a different agenda. Their plan is for something else. I don't know what the plan is. I'm not going to tell you what the theory is. I can just tell you the facts of what happened. All of my dad's signs, vital signs, was good. All of it. Yeah, they still can't even tell us if he was COVID-19. And we know he wasn't because he didn't even have a temperature. I spoke to him the morning. He was walking. Went, had his shower, had his porridge, had his lunch. Sent him off to the hospital because he wasn't breathing correctly. Yeah, he could have OCPD. We don't know what he's got. All we do know is, soon as he got to the hospital, they started to pump him with morphine. And I'm not even sure if it was on his charts or not. The reason why I'm saying that is because the nurse, the head nurse, the ward sister, she says all of his vital signs is good, but she can't understand why he's dosy. So listen, we need to get this word out. My friends, take care of your loved ones. And if by any chance you can avoid of going to the hospital, avoid it. Now, I know a lot of these NHS workers are under pressure. Doctors worldwide are under pressure and they're doing a good job. But these particular doctors, they're 007. They've got a license to kill. Take care.